Are you there? Can you hear my voice? Do you hear my breath? Are you out there? Forgive me, priest, for I have sinned. In the ring of fire tonight, I would have loved you for 1,000 years. I would have died for you. I would have sacrificed it all, my dear. I would have bled for you. Till death do us part. You are unholy right from the start. It's a nice night for a black wedding. Nice night for a black wedding. Nice night for a black wedding.
What is up, guys? Dashing here, and live we are for yet another episode of CMV and Shockwave, edition number 56. And getting things started, as always, jumping straight into the action. Apologies for the raspy voice here this evening. Been coming down with a bit of a chest cold the last few days, but we can't miss out on some great CMV action. And we are getting things started here tonight with this triple threat matchup. As you can see, one half of the Unified World Tag Team Champions, Yvonne Salvatore, set to take on Maverick Flynn of the Psycho Imperium and Jeremy Barmore of the Cousins of Chaos. Now, obviously, both the Psycho Imperium and the Cousins of Chaos have staked their claim to a shot at the Influence, a shot at the Unified World Tag Team Championship. And we just saw last week here on Shockwave the Cousins of Chaos knock off the Influence in a non-title matchup, and obviously the Psycho Imperium looking to take over Shockwave. They want all the gold, and that obviously includes the Unified World Tag Team Championship. Salvatore's certainly going to have a big target on his back here in this matchup, as both Flynn and Barmore are going to be targeting him. Yeah, not only that, going to be stuck right in the middle of two big beefy boys, that's for sure. Speaking of the Psycho Imperium and their mission to take over all of Shockwave, our main event here tonight going to be some Extreme Rules Tornado Tag Team action, as we will see Hunter Quinn and Josh Omega take on the team of Intercontinental Champion, or I should say Intercontinental Champion Hunter Quinn and Josh Omega taking on Brandon Ace and the undisputed World Heavyweight Champion Ricky Delaney. That's if Brandon Ace can even make it to the ring, though, in one piece, considering what that man right there, Maverick Flynn, did to him last week here on Shockwave, brutally attacking him before their matchup and then after their matchup with a steel chair, specifically turning his arm to hamburger meat. The mastodon of the Psycho Imperium doing the dirty work, if you will, of Hunter Quinn. But Brandon Ace has made it clear, injured or not, he's not backing down from this fight, and certainly not backing down from his hunt to become the Intercontinental Champion. Psycho Imperium doing obviously all they can to eliminate all who would stand in their way. That's what Flynn's going to try to do here in this matchup. Push aside Jeremy Barmore and make it clear That the Cyclone Imperium is next in line for a shot at the gold which the Influence holds. Just want to make sure I'm coming through clear. You guys can hear me. No lagging or buffering. My software here is kind of acting up tonight, bugging out a little bit. So hopefully it's all right on your end. Jeremy Barmore got to be feeling real good after he and Sean Kinney last week defeating the Influence in that non-title matchup, seeing themselves as the rightful number one contenders. Hard to argue, especially if Barmore can follow it up by winning this triple threat matchup here tonight. So here we go. Triple threat bout. First superstar to get that pin or that submission in the ring walks out with a big time win here tonight, as we are just a couple of weeks away from Battle Scars 9, where we already know, guys, Josh Omega of the Cyclone Imperium will be challenging Ricky Delaney for the Undisputable Heavyweight Championship. A long-awaited rubber matchup between those two, and like I just touched on a moment ago, the Cyclone Imperium doing all they can to walk into Battle Scars 9 with the upper hand, with the advantage. Maverick Flynn seeking to hoist up Salvatore Barmore. Says, get out of the way, boy. Let me show you how it's done. Blessed for the sub, Hawks. And Suntan as well. Maverick Flynn going for the steel steps, obviously. In a triple threat match, no disqualifications. Flynn says to hell with the steel steps, though, and gonna grab a kendo stick instead. As he waits patiently, Barmore with that belly-to-belly suplex from behind. Kendo stick to the back of the head, tries for a shot to the gut. Barmore, though, gives him a taste of his own medicine. Salvatore gonna interject. Like a beautiful tilt-the-world face-buster right there. I'm guessing that Salvatore drew the short straw here between himself and Tristan Parker as to who was going to partake in this matchup. Oh, well, now Maverick Flynn going for the other set of steel steps. Doesn't want those either, though. Just keen on destroying the ringside area. Barmore gets busted open off a knee from Yvonne Flynn. Laying him out. I don't even know what the hell that was, but it was certainly effective. Also here tonight, guys, we've got some great action to look forward to, including tag team matchup that'll see Amber Young and Gianna take on the certainly unorthodox pairing of Precious Pratt and Amelia Jones. And we've got a Beat the Clock challenge as well, as Hoxton and the Bloody Brick continue their games. See who can win their matchup faster than the other here tonight. Obviously, Hoxton fresh off his push-up contest win last week, albeit via nefarious means, using that mist spraying it in the eyes of the Brit. Hopefully his eyes are A-okay here tonight. He's going to need them for sure in that Beat the Clock challenge. Well, Flynn's been laid out. Able to get back to his feet, though. Salvatore and Barmore too busy with each other. Yeah, sorry, guys, if there's any tweets or anything. I can't read the chat right now. Like I said, my software kind of bugging out at the moment. Not too sure what's going on. Well, Flynn's finally going to bring in the steel steps, though. Looking to make use of them. Barmore able to block that incoming spear from Maverick. Unfortunately, though, gets planted face first with the unprettier from Yvonne Salvatore. Flynn going to take him down. Sends him to the outside. Might have been a good opportunity for Maverick to go for the pin there, but wants to make sure, I guess, the job is done on the workhorse gut-wrench powerbomb into the pin. Runs in the ropes. Salvatore doing all he can here to outmaneuver the two much bigger men he's up against. Trying to come up from behind on Flynn, knocked down. As Barmore goes to the outside, he's going to get those steel steps. Tries for a kick as Yvonne caught by Maverick Flynn. dropped right on his neck. Those model good looks not doing him much good here. Double leg takedown, Maverick Flynn. Kiss to the fist. Big old lariat, but look at that. Double knee face breaker. Yvonne coming out of left field and going to take advantage. Can he make away with the steal here tonight? Almost. 2.999, not quite good enough for Yvonne Salvatore. Flynn taking his time getting back into the ring. Yvonne spinning Maverick around, sets him up for an inverted hero slam. As Barmore tries to shake it off, not looking too hot at ringside. Again, Salvatore from behind, but Flynn cuts him in half with that spear. All the while, Jeremy Barmore grabbing a steel chair. And Flynn just watching as Barmore uses said chair to demolish Yvonne Salvatore. Good God. And Yvonne is now bleeding. Barmore doing a number on your boy right there. Walks him over to the corner. Throws him out in the middle of the ring. That ain't no thing but a chicken wing. Maverick gonna grab the steel steps. Can't use him in time. Barmore throwing him overhead as if he isn't a mastodon. And now Flynn gets a taste of that steel chair. The steel chair he used last week to victimize Brandon Ace. Oh! Drops Flynn right on the chair. That's Yvonne over here talking a little bit of shit. Doesn't look like he's in much of a rush to get back into the ring. Can't say that I entirely blame him. Guys, Salvatore's real busted up. He is bleeding from like 3 or 4 different cuts on his face. Barmore with that steel chair. Maverick cross-legged patella brainbuster into the pin for the win. Uno, dos, no tres no. As Barmore gets back into the ring just in time. We see Salvatore kicked out. Props to Yvonne for even still being conscious right now. Slams Barmore face first into the canvas. Chaotic triple threat matchup to get this show started here this evening. Grabs that kendo stick. As Yvonne uses it to take Barmore off his feet. Barmore decides it's a good time to run his mouth. Gonna pay for it as Yvonne breaks the kendo stick over his head. Shards of kendo stick now all over the ringside area. Yvonne blowing a kiss to Maverick Flynn's rear end. It is quite a nice derriere. Lays out the Mastodon. Doesn't see Barmore creeping up from behind. Nasty spear from the massive Maverick Flynn. Barmore tosses one half of the Unified World Tag Team Champs. Hang on! Maverick Flynn pulling out a pair of brass knucks from his trunks, but doesn't see Salvatore coming with that suicide dive. Hey, no disqualifications. Maverick Flynn came prepared. Pulled out the sweaty brass knucks. Clocked Barmore somehow. Barmore is already walking around again. Yvonne lays him out, but the workhorse just will not stay down. Jeremy Barmore knows this ain't Falls Count anywhere. He's got to get Yvonne back into the ring. Look at this absolute mess at ringside. Kendo stick shards, steel chairs, stairs. As Flynn gets rammed. His lower back right into the barricade. Everyone back into the ring now, one by one. Barmore to belly! Goes for the pin, but doesn't realize Salvatore's back in the ring. He breaks that up. Grabs the punch, headbutt. Barmore goes back to ringside looking for the steel steps, maybe? Maybe not. Grabs those steps. It's Maverick Flynn in the ring with that Again, no idea what you would even call that. Ends in a sort of sit-out face buster. Nice spine buster from Barmore. Is Yvonne gonna do what he does best? Big fucking toss. Launching Maverick Flynn into the air. I'm sure he's not used to getting tossed around like that. Another Barmore to belly while Salvatore is busy talking shit. But makes it back into the ring in time to break up that pin. Kick to the midsection. Gotta be... Well, wait a minute. Oh, Yvonne with a modified torture rack. But Flynn gonna break it up before Barmore has the chance to tap out. Flynn says, get that shit out of here, boy. Looks like a power bomb. Straightforward, simple, but certainly effective. Waiting for Salvatore to get to his feet once again. The cross-legged patella brainbuster puts Yvonne down, but Barmore breaks it up before even a 1 count. Impressive strength, as always, from Jerry Barmore, who's also bleeding profusely at this point from a big old gash right in the middle of his forehead. Oh! Double knee face breaker, and now Flynn's bleeding. All 3 men in this matchup busted open. This has become a bloody affair. Here to kick off Shockwave, episode 56. Grabs that steel chair from ringside. Does the Mastodon. Doesn't get an opportunity to use it. Barmore knocks it out of his hands. Sets him off the ropes, just using his body. Like a brick wall there. Tries to capitalize to Salvatore. Oh my God. Barmore with that rib breaker and gutbuster combo again. Tries to use the chair. Does Maverick Flynn. Got Barmore by the throat. Closed fist to the gut. That'll suck the air right up out of you. Power bomb. Flips him over for a final flash. Bare knee to the jaw. Back in is Yvonne Salvatore. As he sees Flynn take down Barmore with the patella. Double leg takedown from Yvonne. If he can just pin Barmore here. If he can just pin Barmore, and he does. 1, 2, feasting on the scraps. Yvonne Salvatore swoops in to steal the win from Maverick Flynn. Ever the opportunist, Yvonne Salvatore waiting for an opportunity and seizing it when it came along. He is certainly showing the wounds of that nasty battle, though. Bloodied up good in this triple threat match. But a win is a win, and a big win for Yvonne Salvatore. Well, coming up next, guys, we got what should be an interesting matchup as Amare Rivers of the Arsenal of Justice gets ready to take on Jay Davis, who I don't believe was actually scheduled to compete here tonight. Perhaps it was one of his clients, if there was some sort of emergency we don't know about. I'm not entirely sure. But he is filling in last minute. I'm not even sure he has any gear, actually. But you got to be ready on a moment's notice. Let's recall how many times Reese Matthews had to compete in that $1,000 suit of his. Well, this is definitely quite an occasion. Jay Davis hasn't competed inside a CMV ring in a very long time, years. We've only seen him ringside as of late. Isaac Richardson demolishing all that have been put before him. And, well, like we saw last week, guys, actually handed NGW champion JB Hayes his first ever loss, thanks in large part to Amare Rivers, guys. Causing a distraction at ringside, attempting to steal the NGW championship, which threw Hayes off his game and allowed Richardson to take advantage and put the champion away, ending that uber impressive undefeated streak. But here comes Jay Davis, and yes, indeed, going to be competing in his suit as Amare Rivers. I guess Jay Davis here trying to let Amare Rivers know, hey, we did not need your help last week. My one true alpha doesn't need help from anybody. Isaac Richardson is set for more action a little bit later on this evening. Everything is malfunctioning here tonight, including my brain. But we'll see how Jay Davis fares his first matchup in a very long time. So here we go. Amare Rivers, Jay Davis, one-on-one. Tries to start off with a Superman forearm smash, and obviously Jay Davis has not just been sitting on his rear end collecting checks. I'm sure he's been in that ring training with his clients, Isaac Richardson, with Chloe Marks, and with C2 Afasaki. Oh, those heeled boots right to the gut of Amare Rivers. Ooh, catches him with a back suplex and a kick on the way down from the full mount. Okay, Jay Davis, go off. Go off, King. Irish whip sends Davis under the ropes on the rebound. A tour of the islands into the pin. 1, 2. Not going to be that easy for Amare Rivers, though. Up onto the shoulders. Taken for a ride that ends with a discus punch. Should Jay Davis be allowed to compete in those shoes there? That might be a bit of an unfair advantage. But I guess that makes up for the fact that Amare Rivers certainly has the advantage in terms of Davis certainly having some ring rust on him. And not even being prepared for this matchup here tonight. Respect, though, to Jay for taking this match on such short notice with his kicks right to the back of the head. And some more punches from the full mount. I'll tell you what, Jay Davis dominating this matchup so far. It might come to an end right here. Offside moonsault into the reverse DDT. Now a knee to the back of the head. Having himself a bit of a laugh at the expense of Jay Davis here momentarily. Tries for a stop. Davis able to get out of the way, though. Knee to the face, going to knock Rivers down. Pops right back up. Jay waiting for him. Throws out a punch. Get that shit out of here, says Amare. As now he stretches him before dropping him. Vintage Amare Rivers. Into the pin. Will it be just that easy? 1, 2. No, it will not. Jay Davis is hurting, though. That's for certain, and Amari Rivers knows it. Looking for that patented standing 450 splash. And surely that'll get the job done. The uno, the dos, the tres. Amari Rivers picks up the win. But wait a minute! JB Hayes with the NGW Championship payback for last week. And Hayes saying, Amari, you want this title so bad. Here you go. Putting Amari Rivers to sleep as he hoists up that NGW Championship. The action continues here on a Shockwave episode of 56. My fine feathered friends, some tag team action coming our way as Amber Young and Gianna prepare to take on the definitely interesting tandem of Precious Pratt and Amelia Jones, but united here against some common foes. Of course, we now know, guys, at Battle Scars 9, it will be Gianna versus Precious Pratt for a shot at the Women's World Championship after Precious Pratt won that over-the-top rope battle royal and Gianna won that gauntlet match last week here on Shockwave. Meanwhile, Amber Young, the one who eliminated Amelia Jones from said gauntlet match after Jones had a very impressive run, 2 eliminations, came crashing down, though, at the hands, or rather at the foot of Amber Young, knocking Amelia out like a light. And Amelia Jones is out to get a bit of payback here in this tag team matchup. And over this past week, we've seen both Precious Pratt and Amelia Jones trying to get on the same page ahead of this tag team matchup, because obviously they are not friends. They've got a past. But heading into this matchup, they're doing all they can to find common ground so that they can pull ahead and get this win. And Gianna, ever the opportunist, the way she won that gauntlet match last week, coming out last to begin with, so she was nice and fresh, and then defeating Nina by countout to earn her spot in that Battle Scars 9 matchup. Hey, it's a legit way to win, mate, or at least some would say. Gianna certainly would be one of them saying that. And now she is just one step away from her shot at the Women's World Championship if she can get past Precious Pratt. And the question before this matchup begins is, have Precious Pratt and Emilia Jones found that common ground? Have they gotten on the same page to operate together successfully this evening? We will find out, but Pratt, regardless, looking towards Battle Scars 9, guys, as her chance to break into the upper echelon in the women's division here in CMV. A shot at the Women's World Championship awaiting her. All she has to do is best Gianna come Battle Scars 9. And of course, tag team action, what we're going to see on our main event here tonight, as the Psycho Imperium's Hunter Quinn and Josh Omega take on Brandon Ace and Ricky Delaney. Or will it be more akin to a handicap match, considering the condition Brandon Ace is sure to be in after his beatdown at the hands of the Psycho Imperium last week? But speaking of Battle Scars 9, my friends, in the women's division, our main event has been confirmed for Battle Scars 9 live from the Great White North, Canada. It will be Ellie Quinn one-on-one with Amber Reed for only the second time ever here in CMV. Two legacies colliding as both look to prove who is the better. That is going to be an epic clash, one must see. And Emilia Jones is going to one day be involved in that conversation as the best of the best within this women's division here in CMV. But thanks to Amber Young, that time isn't coming soon. Will Emilia Jones get her lick back here tonight? Let's find out. Of course, Tornado Tag Team action it is. Amber Young and Gianna could prove to be a dangerous combo, but so could be Pratt and Jones, if they can indeed put the past behind them and focus up. Tanahashi clothesline from Young. Responds, does Jones with the kick to the midsection, now off the ropes. Beautiful disaster kick avoided, and a boot right to the jaw of Emilia. As we see Gianna connect with her attempted beautiful disaster kick. Follows it up by smashing Pratt's head off the canvas. Nothing pretty about the offense of Gianna. Certainly willing to take a win, no matter how that win comes to her, as was evident last week in that gauntlet match. Walked out last and getting the win via countout. You can't say it doesn't pay off. Now she finds herself in the biggest match of her career at Battle Scars 9. Fighting for a shot at that Women's World Championship, which currently is wrapped around the waist of Xiaorong. Of course, guys, exciting time here in CMB. We are coming off of the biggest event in CMB history, Ascendance 11. Of course, Battle Scars 9 is a couple of weeks away, but after that is the return of the ruler of the ring event and tournament, as we will be crowning the Queen of the Ring and the King of the Ring. Gianna laying out Jones, but makes a beeline for Pratt. Certainly a chance for these two to feel each other out ahead of Battle Scars 9. Gianna, a kick to the back of Young's head. No, but a little premature was that celebration. He's going to bite her on the rear end. Countouts obviously in effect here in this tornado tag team matchup. The ref is already up to 3 as Gianna stretches Precious Pratt, but not for long. Pratt able to escape this back of the ring. We see Amber Young with some hellacious forearms to the back of Amelia's head. Up into the fireman's carry position. Knee to the face. And the German suplex. What a combination. Might be the end of Amelia Jones. Only a 1 count. Precious Pratt coming in to make the save anyhow. Amelia Jones. Crunchy. But at the same time, lays out Pratt as Gianna into the pin. The overdrive, though, does not get the win thanks to Jones. Stays focused as Gianna while Young takes care of Amelia. Gianna! Wicked looking DDT for the dub. But no 3 count for the main character of CMV. Doesn't appear like she's finished with Precious Pratt. Precious Pratt ain't finished either. Headbutt into the back suplex. 1, 2. This one ain't over yet, though. From the corner, Precious Pratt stalking Gianna. At the same time, Amber Young with that kick, setting up the submission. Pratt goes for the pin. The referee is too busy with the submission, though. The ref does not see the pin as Amber Young tries to tap out Amelia Jones. This match will be over. Well over a 10 count. But thanks to Amber Young, this matchup continues. Inverted Frankensteiner spiking Jones. Amber Young gonna follow her to the outside as Precious Pratt tries to keep on top of Gianna. Easier said than done. Oh God, Fisherman Strider. Jones' neck snapping. Bear hug now applied by Precious Pratt. Looking to suck the life out of Gianna here. Amber Young sees it, comes in to make the save. Gianna breaks free, clapping the temples of Precious Pratt. Amelia Jones trying to hype herself up with the support of the fans here in attendance. Amber Young tries that running knee of hers. Goes nowhere, though. A bridge to pin. Gianna on her tippy toes for the win and gets it! Scores the dub! Does Gianna for herself and Amber Young. A big-time win for the KO Bombshell and the main character of CMV. Certainly for Gianna heading into Battle Scars 9. The ref was certainly doing all she could to stay out of the chaos there at the end. Well, it seems like Pratt and Jones still have to find that common ground. Could not pull together for the win here tonight. Are we looking at the next #1 contender in Gianna, my friends? Knowing how crafty she is, and after a performance like that, I wouldn't doubt it for a second. big boy bash coming up next, but Troy Colt, guys, from behind, attacking Bloody Justice as he was making his way down to the ring for this matchup against Isaac Richardson, and obviously payback from Troy Colt for that, well, almost beat down at the hands of Bloody Justice a couple of weeks ago here on Shockwave. Remember, Bloody Justice took advantage of an injured Troy Colt, defeated him, but apparently that wasn't enough. Bloody Justice with a steel chair in hand had intentions, I'm sure, of putting Troy Colt right back on the shelf, but didn't have the chance. Colt able to barely escape, but by the skin of his teeth. And obviously Colt coming back to let Bloody Justice know he ain't forgotten about that. This match are going to go ahead, though, as scheduled. The referee has rung the bell as Bloody Justice goes up against the dominant Isaac Richardson, who's without Jay Davis here tonight, after Jay Davis, of course, a bit earlier, taking a loss at the hands of R.A. Rivers, but Isaac certainly no qualms taking advantage of an injured Bloody Justice. And what an absolute tear the one true alpha has been on these last 2 weeks, guys, since joining up with Jay Davis. He has mowed through the competition here on Shockwave and handed, most impressively, J.B. Hayes his first loss last week, pinned the NGW champion right in the middle of the ring, albeit with a bit of outside help from R.A. Rivers, but even still. Now Richardson going to follow it up by defeating a former undisputed champion. And Bloody Justice here having even more outside help. This time, courtesy of Troy Colt. Gets out of the way of that elbow drop. Bloody Justice with a headbutt. Well, still to come, guys. Up next begins the Beat the Clock Challenge as Shay Hoxton and the Bloody Brick continue to try and outdo one another. Last week we saw Shay Hoxton win the push-up contest, albeit via nefarious means, spitting that mist in the eyes of the Bloody Brick. Does Hoxton have something up his sleeve this evening? As we'll see who can win their matchup faster. Will it be Hox or will it be the Bloody Brick? Richardson has been busted open. Dropped face first on the barricade there, already up to a count of 4. Hook to the jaw. Spins Richardson around. Justice getting back into the ring. Isaac, though, going at his own pace here. He ain't in any rush. Kick to the gut. Isaac sending Bloody Justice off the ropes. Pop-up power slam. Almost putting BJ through the canvas into the pin. But it ain't enough to put away Bloody Justice, who, of course, seeking to pay back all who have wronged him here in CMV with the help of the Harvester, just like he did to Blake Virtue at Ascendance 11. This is a refueled Bloody Justice, a man on a mission who puts down the gargantuan Isaac Richardson. Go home driver, but it won't be enough to seal the deal. Richardson dropping to the outside, trying to buy himself a bit of time to recuperate here. Not going to let that happen as Bloody Justice. Dragon Screw. And Isaac putting on display that unparalleled power of his. Dropped out of the military press with ease. And now a wheelbarrow facebuster, forcing Bloody Justice to kiss the floor. Jesus, man. Richardson has taken the driver's seat by force here in this matchup, flinging Bloody Justice to the side out of that $1 million dream, and at last back into the ring in rough shape right now is Bloody Justice. Knows it too. Does Isaac Richardson. A power bomb. And that might do it, folks. 1, 2, 3. A dominant display from Isaac Richardson. And again, thanks to a little bit of help from Troy Colt there, continues to bury bodies. Does the one true Alpha. Who can stop Isaac Richardson? He's like a runaway train here on Shockwave. As we can see that Troy Colt far from finished with bloody justice. So here we go, my friends. It is time. As soon as that bell rings. Oh, well, Shea Hoxton not waiting for the bell to ring. This is the start of the Beat the Clock challenge. But Hoxton trying to give himself a bit of an early advantage. The bell has not actually rung yet, guys. Wait for the referee. Now the bell has officially rung, and so the Beat the Clock challenge begins. But obviously, the gambling man trying to give himself the upper hand before this matchup actually began, as he takes on Valentino, the debut here. Valentino, he was actually supposed to debut last week on Shockwave. If you recall, he was supposed to be the one taking on JB Hayes, but Isaac Richardson decided, I want to fight him, so Valentino had to sit in the back. I think a wise Valentino not to try and get in Isaac Richardson's way. He said, hey, you want the match, brother? You go ahead. I ain't going to stop you. But now he runs right into a hostile Shea Hoxton tonight, getting the jump on Valentino, as the Bloody Brit watches from the back. Remember, Hoxton gets to set the time here. That's if he wins. If Valentino wins, guys, then all Brit has to do is win his match in any amount of time, and it won't matter. He wins the challenge. But if Hoxton wins this match, he sets the time to beat. Chris Andrews will have to win his match against RJ Kidd in less time. So Hoxton certainly has the advantage, and obviously, as you saw, trying to win this match as quickly as possible. But Valentino not making it easy for him as this fight spills to the outside. I guess that's a good point. If both Hoxton and Britt lose, I guess we could say whoever lost quicker is the ultimate loser. Up to a count of 5 already is Hoxton, who won that push-up challenge last week by spitting that miss. We still don't know exactly what that miss was, but he spit it in the eyes of Chris Andrews just as the Brit was about to win, and well, that allowed Britt, obviously, to take it home. As Hox, I should say, continues to try and prove he's the superior athlete to Chris Andrews in every single way, in and out of that ring. Valentino launched into the ropes. Hoxton waiting for him on the rebound, tries for a kick. Nice block. Oh, Hoxton going down low. A blatant shot below the belt, but the referee must have cataracts. He didn't see that somehow. Valentino, though, pulling a page out of Adam Valentine's playbook with that pop-up cutter. And again, remember, if Hoxton loses, then Britt, all he has to do is win his match against RJ Kidd in any amount of time, but Hoxton able to kick out. Oh, slapjack! Slapjack! This guy must be a big Adam Valentine fan. Oh, but obviously doesn't have the ring awareness just yet. Shea Hoxton getting a very lucky rope right there, but stays on the attack as Valentino with that elbow drop. Hoxton is in a bad way, and Valentino sends him into the corner, tries for a back elbow, able to very quickly evade as Hoxton gut wrench power bomb to the masked man of mystery. Goes for his patented choke slam. Valentino quick enough to get out of the way. Can't escape it a second time though. Choke slam. Hoxton isn't finished. Gets rolled up. Drop throat first in the bottom rope there. I'm sure that didn't feel too pleasant. Drops Hox on his head with that double underhook pile driver. Leg drop not just once but twice. Valentino obviously giving old Hox a run for his money here. Valentino got to know, knocking off a 3-time undisputed champion would be no small feat. Scott Hoxton trapped in a modified crossface here, but breaks out of it. Does the gambling man. Goes to the ropes. Beautiful clothesline by Valentino. Goes for a desperate pin. Will the desperation pay off? It almost does. Valentino starting to question if he has what it takes to put Hoxton down. You know, Britt's in the back right now, hoping and praying that Hoxton loses this match. Have himself quite a little laugh if that's the case. Doesn't matter if Britt ends up beating RJ Kidd in half an hour, he'll still win the challenge. Another hellacious clothesline from Valentino. Right hook tries for the forearm, blocked by Hoxton. Big kick to the side of the head. Hoxton wants to win this match as quickly as he can. Valentino trips him up again. Blocking the punch from Hoxton, though. Oh, stomps on his foot. Knee to the side of the head, into the pin. Does Hoxton have in the bag? Right here, yes he does! Stop the timer! Stop the timer! Shea Hoxton wins the match. Waiting for the official time here. We'll find out. The time Bloody Britt has to beat, guys, 5 minutes. 5 minutes and 39 seconds. That's how long Chris Andrews has to beat RJ Kidd. 5 minutes and 39 seconds. It took Hoxton to put Valentino down. Can the Bloody Britt beat RJ Kidd in less time than that? We're going to find out up next. And into our tertiary main event we go, guys. RJ Kidd, look at, oh, come on now. Oh, there you go. That's what you get, kid. Trying to play games with the Bloody Brit. Doesn't end well, but here we go, the bell. Wait for it to ring. Officially start the timer. And Chris Andrews, guys, has only 5 minutes and 39 seconds to defeat RJ Kidd here. 5 minutes and 39 seconds or less. If Bloody Brit cannot beat RJ Kidd in that amount of time, then Shay Hoxton wins the Beat the Clock Challenge. And RJ Kidd off to a hot start after getting met with that stiff slap across the face. Feigning the handshake. Attempting to get under the skin of the veteran. I don't know why you would want to piss Chris Andrews off, though. There you go. Busted wide open. And now Kidd pulled up into a power bomb. Oh, Britt stomped to the gut. Well, Hoxton now in the back with a hot towel. Eyes glued to the monitor. Hoping that he can once again best Chris Andrews in his attempt to prove that he is the all-around superior athlete. Clothesline from Andrews. Coconut Crunch. RJ Kidd is not having a very good go of it right now. All over him like peanut butter on jelly is Chris Andrews' massive side slam. RJ Kidd, desperate to catch his breath, climbs into the corner. Trips him up. And RJ Kidd, on behalf of Shay Hoxton, just has to play around. Keep Britt grounded and let that clock click down. Big knee right upside the head of Andrews. Can we get the time left, please, from our official timekeeper? How much time, let's see, does Chris Andrews have left here to win this match? Pulled back into a European uppercut. And again, the match doesn't end if Britt indeed doesn't win in that amount of time. The match will continue. Britt can still try and win the match, but the fact will remain that Hoxton will win the challenge overall. RJ Kidd shoved back. Britt able to get to his feet. Big clothesline from Andrews, who certainly isn't trying to waste any time. Power slam from Chris Andrews. If that does it, Britt's gonna win. No. So close, but no cigar as Kidd hops back to his feet, able to catch that kick as Chris Andrews, though, tells him, you, brother. Double axe handle. Some punches right to the face. Closed fist. How about another round? Kidd getting his face bashed in right now by the Bloody Brit, who lifts him up. Hook to the jaw counter, though. RJ Kidd goes behind, German suplex, dropping him on his neck. The clock continues to count down. There's not that much time left for the Bloody Brit. Strikes a pose as he goes for the pin. Able to kick out. Britt knows he's got. Oh, Rookie! Yeah! Out of nowhere! 1, 2! But RJ Kidd kicks out, and frantic is Britt as he goes back on the attack. Britt can only have nothing more than a couple of minutes left here before time expires. RJ Kidd again trying to let the clock count down. Trying to go after the eyes of Britt, which are probably still hurting after that mist last week. Shay Hoxton spitting that poison mist in his eyes. Britt just giving this kid a good old-fashioned walloping. He's got to get back into the ring, though. He's got to try to pin RJ Kidd. And he's got to do it soon. How much time is left? It can't be a lot. We only had 5 minutes and 39 seconds to begin with. Chris Andrews. Oh my God! Power bomb! Onto the barricade. Wait! What's the count at? Britt breaks the count. That's not smart. He may have had the match won right there. It's a legit way to win, mate. Britt is just battering RJ Kidd. Oh no, he passed 5 minutes. That means Britt only has 39 seconds. Britt only has 39 seconds less at this point. And RJ Kidd trying to keep the fight at ringside. Not giving Britt the opportunity. I don't think Britt can do it, guys. He doesn't have the time. Britt doesn't have the time left. It's academic at this point. Shay Hoxton is going to win the Beat the Clock Challenge. Britt could have won by countout, but he chose not to, as he attempts to put RJ Kidd to sleep here. The honor of Chris Andrews indeed costing him this Beat the Clock Challenge. He could have won by countout, but he chose not to. And now as Kidd gets back into the ring, revenge a second time, blocked! RJ Kidd blocks it. Brings Britt to his feet. Double cross! The double cross! 1, 2! Britt kicks out. RJ Kidd livid. The time at this point, guys, has expired. Shay Hoxton wins the Beat the Clock Challenge. But this match is not over. The Britt with another power slam. Doesn't even go for the pin. Puts him down. Revenge. Reversed again. Reversed again. Britt pulls himself up desperately on the apron. Dropped down to the outside. This has been a hard-hitting affair. RJ Kidd looking for a massive win, maybe his biggest win yet here in CMV. And he can take down someone the caliber of Chris Andrews. Big boot to the side of the head, knee drop to the extended arm. Now that time has expired, RJ Kidd trying to slow things down, no need to rush. With a jumping clothesline there from Britt. A freak accident side slam. Waiting now for Kidd to pick himself up in the corner. Thumbs down from Bloody Britt. Full steam ahead. Shoulder thrust into the gut. Belly to belly suplex overhead. Shay Hoxton with a big old smile on his face, I'm sure, in the gorilla position. He has won the Beat the Clock Challenge. But Britt is still whooping ass in that ring. Showing Hoxton exactly what's coming his way. Vintage Britt with the delayed vertical suplex as he goes up to Brett's rope. Leg drop from Chris Andrews. I feel like he could have pinned RJ Kidd a minute ago, man. He is just having some fun at the expense of RJ Kidd right now. Tries to lift him up. RJ Kidd, though, letting it be known he ain't out of this fight. His head is still above the water. And if Chris Andrews is underestimating him, that could be his downfall. Tosses him into the barricade. And again, back first. RJ Kidd gets back into the ring. Up to a count of 4. Looks like RJ Kidd keen on trying to win this match by count out. He doesn't have that same sense of honor that the Bloody Britt does. But Britt's just chilling out ringside. He says, "You want some, kid? Come and get it then." Both these guys are bleeding. This has been a brutal matchup. as Chris Andrews tossing Kid gut first into the corner of the announce table. Now into the full mount position. Clean elbows to the forehead. Ravaging RJ Kidd before tossing him back into the ring at last. Does Chris Andrews finally have eyes to try to put this matchup away? Blocks that clothesline. That was RJ Kidd. The double cross! The double cross again! RJ Kidd could be in for the biggest win of his CMV career, and he gets the win! He does it! RJ Kidd puts away the Bloody Brit! A huge win! The Bloody Brit not only loses the Beat the Clock challenge here tonight, but loses the matchup as well. As RJ Kidd capitalizes on Chris Andrews surely trying to send a message to Shea Hoxton, but pays for it. As RJ Kidd is handed his biggest dub yet. Well, what a potential show stealer we have coming up next year on our co-main event, guys, as NGW champion JB Hayes gets ready to go one-on-one with Bob Luger. And of course, JB Hayes has already been a busy boy here tonight, as we saw attacking Amare Rivers after his matchup a bit earlier. Payback for Amare Rivers costing JB Hayes his undefeated streak last week. But now Hayes has got a tall task ahead of him as he takes on the work of the title, but it looks like he's not coming out here alone, guys. The Ted looking like he wants a front row seat for this matchup. And of course, we all saw what went down last week here on Shockwave, guys. The Ted and Bob Luger brawling before the Ted's match and after the match. Ended up having to be torn apart by an army of security guards and referees, even some police officers. Bob Luger looks to get payback on behalf of his tag team partner Xander Slade, who the Ted embarrassed in his return a couple of weeks ago. The Ted and his new advocate, Todd Dickens, making it clear that Xander Slate was only the first. But if Bob Luger wants to be next in line to catch an ass-kicking courtesy of the Ted, then all he has to do is get in that ring. Getting in the ring he is here tonight against J.B. Hayes. Xander Slate still at home recuperating both physically and emotionally from that loss at the hands of the Ted. And Bob Luger's just trying to look out for his boy. Still to come up next, guys, in our main event. It's an Extreme Rules Tornado Tag Team matchup as the Psycho Imperiums, Hunter Quinn and Josh Omega, take on the Team Branded Ace and Undisputed Heavyweight Champion Ricky Gelani. If we haven't already had enough chaos here tonight, it's only going to get worse in that main event matchup. But I hope that we have security on alert, guys, ready to go with the Ted here at ringside. So it's J.B. Hayes looking to get back to his winning ways, guys, after tasting defeat for the very first time last week. Thanks to Amare Rivers, Isaac Richardson defeating the NGW champion. But what a way to get back on track it'll be if J.B. Hayes can defeat Bob Luger here. I mean, we just had that huge win for RJ Kidd defeating Chris Andrews. This would be an equally as massive win for J.B. Hayes, especially with Bob Luger surely not at 100% focus, with the Ted lurking around at ringside. Throwing his Luger. Oh, no, pulled back into a high knee. Tries to the double knees to the gut, guys. Battle Scars 9. Less than 2 weeks away. And what a show, what a shaping up to be. We, of course, know Josh Omega will challenge Ricky Gelani for the Undisputed World Heavyweight Championship. Our main event announced to be an instant classic for sure, as Ellie Quinn and Amber Reed meet one-on-one for only the second time ever, both looking to prove they are the better woman. One of them indeed will. Live from the Great White North, from Toronto, Ontario. Do not miss it, as J.B. Hayes is able to escape the clutches of Luger there. Ted so far seems to only be interested in watching. I don't know if that'll actually last, though. Off the ropes goes Hayes, tries for a forearm smash. Luger able to get out of the way. Wrenching at the arm, snapping it. Stomp to the arm, going to put J.B. Hayes on his sternum as Luger continues to zero in on the arm, setting him up. For we know what, that cross arm bar, vintage Bob Luger. JB has got to put a stop to this quickly. And now an Irish whip into the ropes, counters to JB. Oh, Ted! I knew he wasn't out here just to watch. But JB knows he has to take an advantage. You can't really fault him for that. Anybody in his position would have capitalized on that distraction, as the Ted grabbed the ankle of Bob Luger and left him wide open. The NGW champion pouncing to retake control. Knocks Luger down to the outside, and the work ethic titan is looking to be in rough shape at this point. A power bomb right down onto the apron, whipping Luger. Oh, God! Head first into the steel steps. That was absolutely sickening. And JB obviously liking the way this match is going right now. The freeze and shatter. A lethal combination. 1, 2. But somehow not enough to put Bob Luger away, to the shock and awe of JB Hayes. Now launched off the ropes. Drops down to Luger. Vintage wheel kick blocked, though, by the NGW champion. Luger going to go back after his arm. Bob Luger, elbow drop. Right across the chest. Now, no, oh, the cutter! Out of nowhere. And just like that, JB Hayes picking up a monumental win, despite the fact that it's thanks in large part to the TED. There's no denying what a win this is for the NGW champion. And there's what did Luger in, that cutter out of nowhere, as Ted watches on with a smirk on his face. JB Hayes back on track and in a major way here tonight. Folks, here we go. Main event time on Shockwave, episode 56. Tornado Tag Team Extreme Rules match. As the Psycho Imperium's Hunter Quinn and Josh Omega going to be taking on the team of Brandon Ace and Undisputed Heavyweight Champion Ricky Delaney. Now, obviously, guys, we know Josh Omega set to challenge Delaney for the Undisputed Championship at Battle Scars 9, the long-awaited rubber match between the two. Whereas Hunter Quinn and that Intercontinental Championship of his doing all he can to keep Brandon Ace away from his beloved championship. We all saw what Maverick Flynn did to Brandon Ace last week, turning his arm to hamburger meat with that steel chair. Hunter Quinn can say that it wasn't on his orders all he wants. The fact of the matter is, Brandon Ace, despite being all taped up, the doctors urging him not to compete here tonight, he said, ain't no way am I backing down. Injured or not, I'm coming for Hunter Quinn, and I'm coming for that Intercontinental Championship. The Charm City Saint is still standing. And he is not backing down for what is sure to be a war here tonight. Now, this is a hell of a main event, don't get me wrong, guys. And you all know I don't like to toot my own horn. But what we've got coming up tomorrow night on Octane, you cannot miss it. Listen to this main event. Peligro, Leon Gata for the CMV Global Championship. And that's on top of a whole lot more. Do not miss it. As Brandon Ace forms a very fragile alliance with Ricky Gelani here tonight. Ace has made it clear he is no fan and certainly no friend of Ricky Gelani. But together they are against a common foe in the Psycho Imperium here tonight. Whether Brandon Ace likes it or not, he can't really afford to turn down the help. And Gelani, we saw last week coming for the Psycho Imperium before they could come for him. Taking out Trevor Hannibal. Hannibal not here tonight because of what Gelani did to him last week. Hitting him from behind with that championship and putting him away in a matter of minutes. Gelani saying, if you want this championship, Psycho Imperium, you're going to have to take it from my dead body. And obviously this is an opportunity for Josh Omega to wear Gelani down before their championship match at Battle Scars 9. The Psycho Imperium raining on Gelani's parade. Didn't even really give him a chance to celebrate with that championship before they staked their claim. And Hunter Quinn, along with the rest of the boys, they've not been hiding their intentions. They've made it clear they seek to take over Shockwave, and they want all the gold. Matchup begins, and this is Extreme Rules. Anything goes. The only rule is you win by pin or submission in that ring. Otherwise, the rule book is out the window. No disqualifications, no countouts. And again, you can see Brandon Ace, guys, has that left arm of his heavily taped up. The fact that he's even able to compete here tonight is impressive in and of itself. Most men in his position would have taken a seat, but not Brandon Ace, as he goes for a weapon while Gelani with a back body drop lays out Hunter Quinn. And of course, a long history between Hunter Quinn and Ricky Gelani. They have shared the ring with one another many, many times. It was a war not so long ago between Chain Reaction and the allies of Johnny Cloudcutter, which at one point Hunter Quinn was one. Josh Omega going to send Brandon Ace off the ropes. Fails to catch him on the rebound, and Gelani gets a hold of the steel steps, but doesn't see Hunter Quinn coming after him. Puts him down with that one-handed bulldog, and now turns to the barricade, dropping the juggernaut. Right on top of it, Omega going for the other set of steel steps. Brandon Ace from behind with a 21 onto the steps. Accidentally knocked into the perfect position. Dear Lord, we didn't get to see one from Hoxton tonight, so I guess Brandon Ace making up for it as Hunter Quinn continues to use the barricade to do some big-time damage here on the undisputed champion. Belly to belly, dropping Hunter Quinn right on the steel steps. Brandon Ace has got the steps in hand. Decides not to use them at this particular moment in time. Again, no countouts, but this matchup could only end via pin or submission in the ring. Hunter Quinn tossing Ace ribs first into the barricade. Remember, it was a couple weeks ago that Brandon Ace tapped out Hunter Quinn clean as a whistle in that six-man tag team matchup. Ace finds himself in position to get a shot at that Intercontinental Championship, but obviously Hunter Quinn using every trick in the book to try and make sure that match doesn't happen, but even still, Brandon Ace stands. Seems like these four men have decided to battle on this particular side of the ring. Gelani once more thrown into the barricade. Oh, and Omega gonna zero in on that injured left arm of Brandon Ace. Takes him down with a Samoan driver as Hunter Quinn tries to get Jelani back into the ring. I think the ladder is blocking their path, though. Brandon Ace, though, able to get Omega back into the squared circle. Oh, double cross! Spiking Hunter Quinn on the floor. Omega, though, coming in like a bomb, dropped on Brandon Ace right there. Brandon Ace saved by the ladder there, but Hunter Quinn, Josh Omega getting acquainted with the ring apron. As we see Hunter Quinn, he is all over the barricade tonight, man. The barricade, an official member of the Psycho Imperium. Quinn's got the steel steps. Jelani's going all the way around to meet him. Oh, it knocks the steps right out of Quinn's hands. That was a bit convoluted, but pays off in the end, I suppose. Oh, TKO from Josh Omega. And we're at Falls Count anywhere. This matchup might be over. Brandon Ace momentarily taken out of the equation. Hunter Quinn now going to go and try to take advantage of the hurt Ace. Digging out of the ring, looking for another weapon to play with. In the ring, Hunter Quinn going to send Jelani off the ropes, spinning back elbow, knocking the spit out of his mouth. Jelani acts first. Very European uppercut. Grabs the kendo stick. Does the Charm City Saint. Rolling unprettier pin attempt by Jelani. Only gets a 2 count, though. Grabs the kendo stick as Omega as Hunter Quinn gets busted open with that double knee face breaker. Wise enough to roll to the outside. Brandon Ace stand on top of him, though. Decides not to take that risk. Can't say that I blame him. Oh, Hunter Quinn, guys. Things are getting dangerous. He's brought out the ladder bridge as Omega goes for a pin in the ring. Only a 2 count. This massive ladder now set up between the announce table and the apron. Grabs the kendo stick, this Josh Omega. Right over the head of Brandon Ace. And again takes him off the feet, but he gets back up. That's the thing about Brandon Ace. There's no quitting this kid. He doesn't stay down. Hunter Quinn dropped hard at ringside. Brandon Ace with the freeze and shatter. He's going to pick up the kendo stick. Boxing Omega open. And nailing him while he's down. Again. And again. And again. One more time to the gut. Omega knocks it up into the air. Discus forearm. Wastes no time picking up the kendo stick. Blood in the water here on Shockwave. Over the head of Ace, and again, now he's bleeding. Irish whip sends Omega into the corner. That kendo stick's getting more action than I have in the last year. Back body drop by Ricky Jelani. Kendo stick sent flying, and the TKO from Omega for the win. Rapid position, took his time. Jelani, I guess confident in Brandon Ace there. Did not break up the pin, but Ace luckily able to kick out. And kendo stick again utilized by Brandon Ace. Omega says enough of this shit already. Clothesline by Jelani. Hunter Quinn trying to get the hell out of here. Jelani says, not so fast, amigo. Gonna go for the other kendo stick. That one's fresh. That one hasn't tasted blood yet. Goes for the pin. 1, 2, but not the win. Hunter Quinn manages to escape to the outside. But that leaves Josh Omega all by himself here. Candlestick to the lower back. Omega kept off his feet. Meanwhile, Hunter Quinn from behind! Psycho Drilla! Catching Delaney completely off guard, but the Juggernaut right back up to his feet! Like the tank that he is! Now look at him take Hunter Quinn's fucking head off as he pulls him out of the corner. Running power slam from the undisputed champion. Brandon Ace has got the kendo stick as Delaney takes a step back. Interceptor combined with the kendo stick to the head. 1, 2, 3, and that's a win for Brandon Ace and Ricky Delaney. What an Extreme Rules match personified. Look at that finish there. Kendo stick to the head and then the interceptor. Quinn was not getting back up from that. And Omega just a little too slow to make the save. Well, these two might not be friends, but they work together beautifully. And a great win for the Charm City Saint and the Juggernaut here tonight.